So I'm here on I'm here in Antarctica, and I just wanted to really stoked to bring this review of the Momentum Aquamatic III. This watch literally has gone to the end of the earth. So you might think we didn't get the memo about dive watches, doing a review of them up here on a mountain, but in actual fact, getting things to work underwater is very hard, and if you can, you end up with some quite tough equipment. And so that's why we, the crew at One Eye Open Productions here, have turned to the dive watches as our second choice for our Momentum watch. We do actually have a Momentum altimeter watch, which we have done a review on that, which we do use for a lot of mountaineering work. But we were looking for a watch that would complement the other areas of our work. We do a lot of stuff that's not always on a mountain. We are in boats, we are in rivers, we are in kayaks or in jungles. In this particular instance, we even went to the bottom of the earth. And we took these watches to Antarctica for what we think is probably the ultimate test of toughness. There was a couple of criteria that I was looking for. The first one, we wanted the same toughness as our altimeter watch. And all of Momentum watches come with the option of Sapphire Crystal, which this one does.
This particular watch is the Aquamatic III.
They're rated to 300 meters depth, which is about 1,000 feet. So they've all got the dive bezel, which is one of my favorite sounds in the world, and glow in the dark. It is an automatic movement, which means no battery. You are going to have to keep the watch moving, and if you let it still for a while, you'll have to wind it up again. So we needed this watch to perform, and it certainly did. We took it on a ship down to Antarctica. We went kayaking in and among icebergs with it. We made a continental landing. You can see us there filming in the snow. We took a Zodiac ride through some rough waters. This is where I put this watch to a waterproof test and a cold test. It totally stands up. I think my hands were the first to go, and we often laugh about this. These watches will survive probably longer than I can survive. So it's certainly survived the rigours of our trip to Antarctica. The other criteria for this watch is it needs to look stylish, which seems a little odd, me sitting here in a Gore-Tex jacket on a mountain talking about fashion, but we often have to bridge that gap. On this particular trip to Antarctica, this was quite relevant. We would go out on our adventures and then come back and sit and dine with our clients on the ship. We of course still need to sell ourselves as being the rugged outdoor adventure people that we are, but need to look good with a glass of wine in our hands. You might be wondering, is this a lady's watch? It is not, it's actually a man's watch. The style itself you may have seen in other watches like the Rolex and made popular by James Bond, which is kind of why I like it. Sadly, they haven't made a women's version, which I think would just be a slightly slimmer watch. It is just a little bit chunky on my hand, but it's not overly heavy. I obviously can lift my arm. So whether you're a guy or a girl, you're doing tough stuff or just trying to look cool, I highly recommend the Momentum
Aquamatic
III. It has served me really well. And it's time to head home, because I am getting freezing cold on this mountain doing watch reviews and repeating the drone shot 1,000 times.